Okay, so this evening, what we're going to do, and this won't be of any surprise to Tom and David, is we're going to do a revision of na adjectives first. We're not going to spend a lot of time doing those because it's something that we can study as we're practicing. And then we're going to go on to the interrogative, so forming questions in Japanese. And I'm going to explain a little bit about them. There's not that much to explain. It's just basically vocabulary. But we're then going to practice them together and we'll see what kind of mess we get into. Okay, so let's start off with a little bit of warming up. So, Andre, how would you say, are you well? Are you well?
元気ですか?
Yeah, simply, お元気ですか? Or 元気ですか? Tom, how do you say, that is a... Sorry, guys, can I ask you to mute yourselves a second? There's some... Thank you, that's better. Oh, I felt like somebody was grinding their nails down a blackboard. Tom, how would you say, that is a pretty dress, isn't it?
それですは綺麗です。
Sorry, can you say again?
That それ dress?
Not sore dress.
その dress.
その dress, yes.
その dress は綺麗です。
Hey, yes. その dress は綺麗ですね. And then how would you say, that is a pretty dress?
それは
Yeah.
綺麗なドレスです。
はい、それは綺麗なドレスです。Good. Manuel, how would you say, oh, just let Yadi in just a second. How would you say, over there is a peaceful park? Over there is a peaceful
I think
park.
I got this last week.
Okay, let me give you another one. I like Mexican food.
メキシコ料理が好きです。
Good. And then how would you say, I really like Mexican food? I like Mexican food a lot.
メキシコ料理が大好きです。
Good, yes. メキシコ料理が大好きです. Excellent, well done. David, how would you say, I really hate octopus? I really dislike octopus.
タコが大嫌いです。
Yes, good. タコが大嫌いです。大嫌い. Good. Hi, Yari.
Hi, everybody.
Yari, how would you say, Michael is strange? Michael is strange.
Michael が変なです。
Okay.
変です。
Yes, Michael が変です。Michael が変です. And then how would you say, Michael is a strange person?
Michael は変な人です。
Yes, good. Michael さんは変な人です. Hi, Lena.
Son. Hi, Michael son, of course.
Hi, Lena. Oh, we've got internet problems again. Okay, Elena, can you hear us, Elena?
こんばんは。
Konbanwa.
こんばんは。
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Right, it's actually your turn, Elena. Your internet's a little bit slow, so we'll see how we do. How would you say?
I'm not sure. I think my some problems. What happened with...
Okay, so your speech is so blurred. It's so distorted I can't hear you at all. So we'll move on. If I start to see improvements in the visual, then I'll come back to you. Okay.
Does it help if Elena took the video away and only sounds?
Yes. If you haven't got the bandwidth for it, if you disable video, so stop video down the bottom left, and that will put you in audio only mode. You might sound better.
I think my lab has some phases. It's not everywhere. Every time.
Are you on mobile?
Sometimes.
Elena, are you using laptop or mobile?
Oh, there we go.
Right, that's your video off. Let's see whether or not that makes a difference. So, Elena, can you speak to me? No. Okay, let's see if it comes back in the next round. Let's do another few of the na adjectives. Andre, how would you say my French speaking is not skillful, is unskillful? My French speaking is bad.
私のフランス語が下手です。
It's good. 下手です。私のフランス語が下手です。Andre, how would you say I speak French badly or I speak French unskillfully?
私はフランス語で、下手で
So not de, but the na adjectives to make adverbs become ni.
下手に話します。
Yes, good. 私はフランス語で下手に話します。Good. Tom, how would you say this is a necessary piece of luggage? This is a necessary piece of luggage.
This これが necessary was 必要荷物です。
Sorry, Tom. Hitsuyo. Yeah.
これが必要な荷物です。
Yes, good. これが必要な荷物です。Good. Thanks, Tom. Manuel, how would you say I like sushi, but I am unable to eat raw fish? I like sushi, but I am unable to eat raw fish.
寿司が好きです。が、生魚が unable to eat. 生魚食べたい。
That means I want to eat, but how do you say I cannot eat?
Right. 食べられません。
Good. Yes.
Okay. 食べられません。
Sushi gas. Sorry, after you go. You go next.
寿司が好きですが、I forgot. Wrong. 生魚食べられません。
Good. And what's the particle that comes after namasakana?
生魚が
Yes. Good.
生魚が食べられません。
Yes. So remember, guys, that even though this is a sentence with a verb, with an object and a verb, if we're talking about the ability to do something, then it's not or, but it's ga. Ga.
Right.
Yeah. Good. Thanks, Manuel. Yari, how would you say the convenience store is very convenient? The convenience store is very convenient.
Convenient. Benri.
Yes. Good. Yes. Exactly.
Benri ga Benrina des.
No. So sorry. Convenience store. The word convenience store is kombini. Kombini.
What is kombini?
This means convenience store, like a local store, a local shop, convenience shop.
Kombini is the local shop. Okay.
Yeah.
Kombini ga Benri des.
Yes, good. Kombini ga Benri des. Good. David, how would you say usually I like to eat simple food?
Usually was
Futsu.
Yeah.
Yes, futsu.
普通に簡単食べ物
Good.
Nope, sentence is gone.
So usually I like to eat simple food.
簡単食べ物が好きです。
Oh, good. Good. Yeah. So I like simple food. Good. So kantan, and then what's up between kantan and tabemono?
簡単の食べ物。
Yeah, kantan no would be understood, but
Then
these are what kind of adjectives
Kantan-na.
are they? Yes. Yeah.
簡単
Kantan
な
na.
食べ物が好きです。
Yes, good. Kantan. Futsu wa or futsu ni kantan na tabemono ga suki desu. Good. Hi, Joel. Well, we'll bring you straight in now. We're just doing revision of the na adjectives. So, Joel, how would you say I am well, although my stomach hurts, so I cannot eat much at the moment?
Oh,
straight in with the crocodiles. Yeah, I know. But let's walk through it. Let's walk through it together.
So let's. I'm well, although my stomach hurts.
Yep.
So I can't eat
much at the moment.
So genki desu.
Good.
Although we would say demo.
So let's not use demo in the middle of a sentence. We can use ga to say but.
Genki desu ka?
Yeah.
How would we say stomach?
Onaka.
Genki desu ga onaka itai desu kara.
Good.
Much.
Taksan.
Taksan tabetakunai desu.
Okay, so this means I don't want to eat much, which is good. This would be understood.
Okay.
How would you say I cannot eat much though?
Can't remember the.
Okay, so this is group 2, taberu.
Taberu. So.
And the ability to do something would be. Remember how to do it with group 2 verbs. Okay, so for group 2, we chop off the ru and add rareru.
Oh, okay.
This is then the infinitive of the ability to do something.
So it would be taksan o taberaremasen.
Good, taksan. So we don't need o. Taksan is a modifier. It's like an adverb in itself.
Okay.
So
Taksan taberaremasen.
Yes, good. Taksan taberaremasen. So let's put this sentence all together again. So I am well, but my stomach hurts, so I can't. Yeah, good.
Onaka itai desu kara.
Good.
Taksan taberaremasen.
Good. Taksan taberaremasen. Excellent. Sure, it might just be my hearing, but are you saying itain desu kara with an N after itai?
No, itai.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, because it means something if you put an N at the end of itain.
Okay. Well, itai.
Itai. Sorry, I thought I could hear it, but maybe it's just the internet. David, have you only done one, David, so far? Because the image just keeps dropping around. You're muted again.
Nope, done 2.
You've done 2. Okay, Elena, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so let's see if your internet will hold up. How would you say this rule is terribly important? This rule is terribly important.
What is the rule?
Kisoku.
Kisoku.
Yeah.
その規則が、important 大切です。
Yes.
大切
この規則が大切です。Good. And then as a modifier, we could use taihen to say terribly. So it is terribly important. So how would we put that into this sentence?
その規則が大変 Do I need to add this there?
No, so taihen, and taksan is all modifiers which don't need a particle.
大変大切です。
Yes, good. Yeah.
大変大切。
Yeah, good. Excellent. So just remember that this, for this rule, is kono, not sono. Kono kisoku ga.
Okay.
Kono kisoku ga taihen taisetsu desu. Okay, good. Well done, Elena. Right, guys, let's move on to today's subject, which is the interrogative, or how to make questions. Let me just share the screen with you. And let's launch this. And can you all see this slide, guys? Cool. Okay, so there are, like most languages, lots and lots of different ways of forming questions. Our basic structure is going to be like the rest of our Japanese sentences, where we basically can keep the statement of a sentence in the same shape. Now, to make it into a question, we can basically slide in these interrogatives normally anywhere within the sentence, but it's good guidance at the moment to put it at the beginning. So we'll take a statement, put the interrogative term at the beginning, and then ka at the end. So we're taking a statement and encasing it with the interrogative and ka to make sure it's a question. So let's look at some of these interrogatives. So what is expressed by nani or nan? Now, the question which jumps to mind is, well, which should I use? Is it nani or nan? And I went looking yesterday on the internet to try and find a comprehensive answer for when to use nani and when to use nan. And to be honest, I didn't find very much. There was lots of forums where people were expressing their opinion, a lot of it which was wrong, because it talked about nani being more polite. It's not the case at all. But a good general guide would be that if you're saying what something, like what time or what bus or something, what and then something, then nan is probably going to be the one that you'll use. If you just want to say what and then leave it open, what something, without saying something at all, then you're probably going to use nani. You're probably going to use nani. The exception is going to be that if you say, well, actually, around session 2 or session 3, I explained that there was a Japanese sentence that you should learn because it carries nearly every element of the Japanese sentence structure in it. And that sentence was, kore wa nan desu ka? Kore wa, this is the subject, nan, what, des, it is, ka, it's a question. Kore wa nan desu ka? So in that case, for des, we would also use nan. So some of the things which might go next to nan to say what thing is this. So nanji desu ka means what hour is it, which is basically you're saying what is the time. Ima nanji desu ka? Nannichi, nichi is the day of the month. Nannen, what year is it? Nangetsu, what month is it? These are all ways of saying what is this thing. Okay, next one, who. So these three are basically in the order of politeness. The basic one, which isn't necessarily impolite, is dare. Dare. Slightly more polite way of saying this, and nice one to remember, is donata. This is quite a polite way of saying something. And then we've got this word dochira, which I've put in bold because dochira actually means which way, which way. But we use dochira as a very formal way of asking lots of different interrogatives. We'll see later that we can use dochira for place, direction, person, and things like this, dochira. Which, so if we want to make a selection out of a number of items, then we use dore. So you probably might remember back again in session 1 or 2, I explained references, kore, sore, are, and kono, sono, ano, koko, soko, asoko. And then the question for all of these is dore, dore, kore, sore, are, dore. So which. Again, you can use dochira to say which one. And then if we're using, if we're going to put a noun after it, like kono, sono, ano, so say kono, kono saifu, sono saifu, ano, ano hito. If we can put the noun after the reference, then to say which person, which wallet, which phone, then we use dono. So it's used in the same way as dore, dono. Now, why and how come with a little bit of advice. The words for why and how are pretty similar in Japanese. You can use one word and it can mean both why and how. So we have to be a bit careful how to express this. However, naze is very much why. It means what reason, what thing, what reason. Naze. This definitely means why, but it's a little bit informal. The very common way to say why would be nande. So nan is what, and de is the de meaning by way of. By what way? Nande. This means why. Or it's of a similar level of politeness, we can say doshite. And we'll come back to doshite in a moment. Right, back up to this column here. Where is very simple, it's doko. You can, in some instances, also use dochira to make it even more polite, but doko is the standard way. So, watashi no kuruma wa doko desu ka? Where is my car? Now, here we are on to how. So how is basically said by saying door. This means how is it? So, for example, if you wanted to ask how was your holiday, you would say oyasumi wa do deshita ka? Do deshita ka? How was it? Do deshita ka?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
If you say mo ichido, is that do also question in the?
No, this is actually a do, which is the kanji for occurrence or degree. So it's actually a different do.
Okay.
Yeah. Pronounced the same, but the character is different. Yeah. If we want to be really specific and ask how to do something, then we can use doyate. Doyate is basically the same word as doshite. So in both of these cases, do means how, yate is the te form of yaru, to do, yarimasu, and shite is the te form of suru, shimasu. So it's how do you do? How do you do? Doyate, doshite. So it can be a little bit confusing sometimes to be clear that you're either saying, how do you do this? Or why do you do this? So it reminds me of a thing I tripped over when I was asking Ishido Sensei something. I was asking something about the technique within the kata. And I wanted to say to him, how do you do it? How do you do it? But he thought, so I said, doshite shimasu ka? Doshite shimasu ka? How do you do it? And he thought I was saying, why do you do it? And he said, because that's the kata, you idiot. And I was trying to say, no, I know the reason why I'm doing it, but I don't know how to do it. So after a sort of 30-second exchange of me saying, I'm not saying why, I actually said in English to him, not why, but how. And he understood my English. And he said, okay. And he explained how to do this technique. And then I said to him, how do I make the distinction between why and how? And he said, the best way to say it is this term here, do itashimasu. Do itashimasu. So a really good way to say this, if a sensei gives you an instruction and you want to ask, how do you do it? You should say, do itashimashou ka? Do itashimashou ka? So it softens it by making it masho instead of mas. Do itashimashou ka? This is a really nice way of saying, how should I do it? Do itashimashou ka? Do itashimashou ka is basically a very formal way of saying doshite, but somehow it gets it across that you're saying, how should one do it, rather than why should one do it? Do it. And this is also, this do itashimasu is, you might recognize this, when you say you're welcome, if somebody says to you thank you and you say you're welcome, you say do itashimashite, which means however you want it, do itashimasu. Okay, let's get on to some slightly easier ones, which are much more
Is it also okay to say if somebody asks you for example doing something to you and say sorry, and you say do itashimasu?
No. So there are other ways of saying sorry.
Okay.
Best not to say you're welcome. because it sounds a little bit sarcastic.
Okay, good.
If you want to say, if somebody says, bumps into you and says sorry, you can say it's fine. So you can either say "いいですよ" or
"いいですよ." Okay.
yeah, or you can say "大丈夫です," "大丈夫です," which means it's all right. 大丈夫, it's all right. 大丈夫です. Okay, so we want to ask how much is something for basically non-countable items, but this also extends to things like the price of items, but it's basically non-countable items. We use ikura, usually used to mean how much is something, how much does something cost. If you want to be a little bit less specific, then you can say dono gurai, which means roughly how much. Dono gurai, dono gurai. Kono sushi wa dono gurai desu ka? Roughly how much is this sushi? I use sushi a lot, don't I, in these examples? I must have some sort of obsession. If we want to ask how many, so we now count, these are countable items, individual items, we use ikutsu, ikutsu, ikutsu. So this is basically using the tsu counting system, like hitotsu, futatsu, mitsu. This is asking me how many items, ikutsu. And then finally, if you want to just ask simply when, then it is itsu, itsu. There are lots of little sub-rules about how to use these, and we're going to learn them by practicing them. Any questions before we do the practice, guys? All good. Extra. Cool. Let's do some practice then. Okay. So the way we're going to do this is one of you is going to be person A, and one of you is going to be person B. And person A is going to ask the question, and then person B is going to answer, also in Japanese, of course. And you might need to use your imagination here and there. So Andre, let's start with an easy one. You're person A and Tom is person B. How would you say? So first, Andre, can you pick something up from your desk, please? Okay, remote control. So, okay, so Andre, can you say to Tom, what is this? Now let's go back to the first one because that was actually useful. So how would you say, what is this?
これは何ですか?
Tom, どうぞ.
Remote controller desu.
Oh, actually, pretty close. The Japanization of this is remocon. Remote control. Remocon.
Remocon desu. Andre-san.
Very good. Okay. Tom, you're person A, and Manuel, you're person B. How would you say, what time is it?
Manuel, 何時ですか?
Okay. 7時, I don't know, half past.
Han.
Han, okay. 7半?
So it's number G, Han.
Han.
Yeah.
7時半.
Unfortunately, and for reasons I don't know, this is one of those instances where they don't use nana. They use the much more difficult to pronounce shichiji.
Okay.
どうぞ.
7時半です.
Very good. 7時半です. Excellent.
7時半です.
Excellent. Good. Okay, Manuel, you're A, and Yari, you're B. So the question is, what day is this? What day of the month is this?
ヤリさん、何日ですか?
So let's be more specific. Let's say, what is today? What is today?
今日が?
今日は.
Okay. 今日は何日ですか?
Good. はい、ヤリさんどうぞ.
水曜日です.
So Nichi is for days of the month, not days of the week.
Aha, okay.
Yeah.
What's the number? 11.
It's 11.
Really, this is difficult.
Okay, have a try.
No, I don't remember. Ju Ippon is not. It's something else.
No, it's much
Ju
simpler.
Ikkai. Ju
No,
Ikkai.
That's 11th time. So the actual term was in the sentence. It was Nichi, nan Nichi. So the 11th would be the number and then Nichi. Really
To
easy.
the end. Okay. Ju Nichi. Ju
No.
Ippon Nichi. Ju
No.
Nichi Nichi.
Yes, good.
Yes.
Yes, good. Ju Ichi Nichi des. Actually, Yadi, you're very lucky that today is the 11th because if it was anything from 1 to 10, there's a completely different.
Yeah,
counting
I
system.
remember that it's very difficult, the numbers in month.
So let's very quickly go over these. So from 11 onwards, it's actually really simple. It's the general rule is the number plus Nichi. So Ju Ichi Nichi, Ju Ni Nichi, Ju San Nichi. Now there are 2 exceptions, or 3 exceptions actually, after that. The 14th is Ju Yokka. Ju
Ju
Yokka.
Yokka.
Yeah.
Ju
Ju Yokka.
Ju Yokka Nichi.
No, there's no
Ju-
Nichi. Ju
okay.
Yokka is just the term. And then it goes back to Nichi. It goes Ju Go Nichi, Ju Roku Nichi, Ju Nana Nichi, Ju Hachi Nichi, Ju Ku Nichi, Ju Ku Nichi. That was Ju Ku Nichi, not Q Nichi. Ju Ku Nichi.
Ku Nichi.
Yeah.
Ku.
Ku.
9.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. And then 20 is Hatsuka.
Hatsuka.
Hatsuka. Don't ask me why. There's probably a reason if you look it up on the internet. So it's Hatsuka.
Hatsuka Ichi Nichi.
No, there's no Nichi. No Nichi. So then after 20, it goes back to the Nichi system again. Niju Ichi Nichi, Niju Ni Nichi, Niju San Nichi. And then we get to 4 again. So we go Niju Yokka. Niju Yokka. Yokka, that sounds Finnish, doesn't it, Yari?
Yeah. Niju Yokka.
Niju Yokka. And then we go back to Nichi all the way up to 31. So Niju Go Nichi, Niju Doku, Niju Nana, Niju Hachi Nichi, Niju Ku Nichi, Niju Sanju Nichi, Sanju Ichi Nichi. Now the bits which we'll come back to later, which might be learnt in the medium of a song, if I can find one, is from 1 to 10. They use something a little bit similar to the Hitotsu, Futatsu, Mitsu system. It goes Tsuitachi, Futsuka, Mika, Yokka, Itsuka, Muika, Nanoka, Yoka, Kokonoka, Toka. So we'll learn these at a different time. Yeah. Okay.
Difficult.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just a case of there's vocabulary that has to be learned, and we just have to learn it. Yeah, like the same with all.
Watashi wa hito B.
Huh?
Now.
Yes, sorry, Yari, you're first. Yari-san wa ima hito A desu. A-san desu.
Hito A desu.
A desu. Joao-san wa B-san desu.
So, Andy, I still have a question.
Sure.
So you said when we use non-nichi, it's always the days of the month. Now, if you want to know the day of the week, would we use shu no nichi, day of the week, or no?
So it's the word for day of the week is yobi. So getsu yobi, kayobi, suyobi, mokyobi.
So we would say nan-yobi.
Exactly. Nan-yobi desu ka. Yes, exactly. Yeah. This often happens after a long drinking session. You have to ask, what day of the week is it? Yes. Okay. Yari, can you ask Joel? This is going to be an easy one. What month is this?
Joa-san, nan getsu desu ka?
Good.
8月ですね。
Good. Exactly. So, point to note, guys. If you're actually saying anything with the number and the month, like Ichigatsu, Nigatsu, all the way up to December, Junigatsu, this is Gatsu with an A, Gatsu. If you're saying what month is it, or next month, last month, or this month, we use the term Getsu getsu with an E instead of an A. Okay, good. Thanks, guys. Well done. Joel-san wa A-san desu. David-san wa B-san desu. And then Joel, can you ask David, what year is this?
David-san, 何年ですか?
今年は2020年です。
Excellent. So kotoshi means this year. Kotoshi wa nannen desu ka? Kotoshi wa 2020年です. Excellent. Good. Well done, David. David, you are A, and then hopefully Elena going to be B-san. Let's hope the internet works okay. So David, can you ask Elena, who is that over there? Who is that over there?
あの人は誰ですか?
Good. And Elena?
Anji-san desu.
Oh, hello. Hi.
I didn't see. I have no video.
Oh, okay, it doesn't matter. So you can just use your imagination. But Andy-san will do. Andy-san desu. Okay, good. Elena, you're person A, and then Andre, you're person B. Elena, could you please ask Andre, what is your, sorry, not what, which is your favorite fish? Which is your favorite fish?
どの魚が好きで、好き。
Yeah, good.
サメが大好きです。
Same. Oh. Okay, so
Sure.
this just the fin in soup. So Elena, you said which fish do you like, but do you know how to say what is your most liked fish?
とても好き。
So most liked would be Ichiban, number one.
一番。
Ichiban suki.
どの魚が一番好きですか?
Perfect. Hey, same desu ne. Good. Okay, well done. Andre, you are A, and Tom, you are B. Which cuisine do you like the most?
トムさん、どの料理が好きですか?
So most liked though, Andre. Which do you like the most?
一番好きなどの料理が一番好きですか?
Good.
日本料理好きです。
Oh, good. Okay, good. So excellent. So here we've got two ways of asking the same question. This was really nice. Just the same way that I can say, これは私の携帯です. I can also say, この携帯は私です. So これ and この. So what we just did in those last two questions was using どれ and どの. So Elena asked Andre, which how did you say? どの魚が一番好きです? Is that what you said? Or maybe it was どれ. 一番好きな魚はどれですか? Oh no, it was どの. Sorry. So Andre, which one did you use? Sorry.
どの料理?
どの料理, yeah.
どの料理?
So we could say, 一番好きな料理はどれですか? どれですか? Or どの料理が一番好きですか? It's the same. The meaning of the sentence is the same. It's saying, which cuisine do you like the most, and which is your most liked cuisine? Does that make sense, guys? This is the difference between dore and dono. With dono, you have to put ryori afterwards. Dono ryori. But if you're just saying dore desu ka, which is it? You use dore and not dono. Just the same way we would use kore wa nan desu ka, or kono keitai wa dare no desu ka. So you have to have a noun after dono.
And you have to answer dore for dore kore and sore sono.
Yeah, well, you could do, yeah. So when you're saying dore desu ka, you're now asking amongst a range of different options for you. So the answer is going to be something like, so like Andre said, he said, well, he said sharp. So he said same desu, same. So you don't have to reply with kore, but you could do. If somebody was presenting a range of whiskies to you in little bottles and saying, Ichiban suki wa dore desu ka? Then you'd point at one and say kore. Or you could say kono kore or kono whiskey. Yeah. I knew that if I expressed it in the language that you would understand, Yari, in whiskey, you would understand.
Whiskies, yes.
Psychology, man. It's all about psychology. This is what coaching is all about. Use psychology. Okay, good. Tom, you are person A, and Manuel, you are person B. Let me just pick out a question. How about Manuel? Can you just stand up slightly and show what you're wearing on top? Okay, so it's a green T-shirt, right? Yeah. Okay. So Tom, you know the drill. You had this one this morning. Why are you wearing that T-shirt?
Manuel-san ga midori T-shirt wearing was key. Doshite kimasu ka?
Okay, so this is the right words, but they're slightly in the wrong order. So probably better to put. If you're saying Manuel-san first, then that's good. Let's get it out the way, Manuel-san, and then say.
Manuel-san.
Then ask the interrogative next. Is best in this case.
So doshite. Then the T-shirt. Yeah. So midori T-shirt kimasu ka? Yeah, for the T-shirt kimasu ka to wear.
Yeah, good. So Manuel-san, doshite midori no T-shirts o kimasu ka? So let's just dive in on this. Let's magnify this sentence. So forget Manuel for a second. Not interested in that. Let's forget the question. Doshite. Let's forget ka. Put that out of the way. In the center of this sentence, we had midori no T-shirts o kimasu. Midori no T-shirts o kimasu. To wear a green T-shirt. So that's the core of the sentence. Midori no T-shirts o kimasu. And then we're adding just this attachment on the end. Ka. Midori no T-shirts o kimasu ka? Do you wear a green T-shirt? And then we add the actual interrogative. Why do you wear a green T-shirt?
Doshite.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Doshite midori no T-shirts o kimasu ka? Hai, Manuel-san, dozo. Doshite desu ka?
Kirei desu kara?
Because it's pretty.
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Why not?
Yeah.
¿Por qué no?
Right.
yeah, exactly. Kirei desu ka? Yeah, good. Okay, Manuel, you are person A, and Yari, you are person B. Sorry, some of these questions are a bit kind of weird, but it's testing your ability to come up with imaginative answers. So the question is, why is it hot today?
Okay. どうして気を暑いですから暑いですか
Good. どうして今日は暑いですか
Okay.
はい、ヤリさんどうぞ。どうしてですか
You. What's the sun? Nihon.
No, so better to use he.
今日は日です。
because today's the sun. Sorry, do you want to say sunny? Like sunny?
Yes, sunny day.
Okay. So this is the word we actually use is clear. We say the sky is clear. So there is actually a verb for this, which is hare.
Akarui.
No. So akaru is bright, but for a clear sky, it's hare. Hare desu. This is a very weather-based word, haredes. If you want to say it has become clear, it's actually hareru, harete imasu. It is.
Hare narimasta.
No, you can't use
Hare wa
narimashita.
narimasta.
No, you have to say harete imasu, or just haredes.
Haredes, okay.
Yeah, haredes.
But if it changed from something cloudy to clear, then it hare.
So,
no, it's
yeah, you could actually. Sorry, you could use hare ni narimashita. You could use that. Yeah, you could say this. Hare ni narimashita.
because we had our clouds.
Yeah,
and now
exactly,
we
yeah.
have our sun.
Now it's become clear. Yeah, hare
Yeah.
ni narimashita. Yeah, you could say this. Good. Okay, Yari, you are person A, and Joao, you are person B. So the question is, Yari, where are you now? To Joao.
Doko ni imasu.
It's a question. So
Ka.
yes.
Doko ni imasu ka? Who was the son which I was talking about?
Oh, Joao. Sorry, who was the what?
Joa-san.
Yeah.
Okay. Joa-san, doko ni imasu ka?
But I want you to ask, where are you now?
Doko ni ima desu ka?
So better to put ima at the. In this
the
case, put
son.
ima at the
Okay.
beginning. Yeah.
Joa-san, ima doko ni imasu ka?
Good.
Home is ie.
Yeah.
Ie ni imasu.
Yeah. Good. Ie ni ima.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good. Okay, Joao, you're A, and David, you are B. So the question is. Sorry. Where where is your pen? Like it's suspiciously disappeared.
Pen is in pizza.
Oh, and pizza is pencil. So pen is just pen.
Pen.
Yeah.
David-san, David-san no pen wa doko desu ka?
Good.
It's no jigen desu.
Oh, magic. Very
In
good.
a different dimension. Koku desu.
Look at this. Hi. Good, good. Okay, David, to Elena. How do you spell your name?
Oh dear. That was a big one from this morning.
Okay, so let me give you a clue.
Spelling is
Speru suru. Speru suru.
Elena-san, onamae ga onamae o speru suru. No.
No, so spell suru at the end. So how do you spell your name?
How? Doyate.
Yes, good. Doyate.
Yes. Elena-san, onamae o doyate speru o suru.
Speru, and then
Speru.
suru becomes so.
Speru o shite.
No. So
No.
it's just a simple shimasu ka. Speru shimasu ka.
Speru shimasu ka?
Good. So can you say the sentence one more time, David?
Elena-san, onamae o doyate speru shimasu ka?
Good. Excellent. Hi, Elena-san, dozo.
ELENA.
Good. There we go. Yes. Excellent. Okay, Elena, you are A, and Andre, you are B. Can you ask, how much is this book? How much is this book?
本はいくらですか?
Good. But this book, how much is this book?
This book. その本は
No, not sono. Sono is
い
that
くら
book.
ですか?
The book that you have with you.
It's not so.
Not sono,
It's
but
you.
kono. Kono. Mosh mosh.
I thought Ko is with me.
Yes, that's the one I want you to talk about, the one that you're holding.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to learn something new. これ、この本は、いくらですか？
Good. この本はいくらですか？はい、アンドレさんどうぞ。
はい
これで。すか？
その本は300万円です。
Whoa, antique. Very good.
古いですから
Very, very old, yeah, I would say. Good. Okay. Andre, you are A, and Tom, you are B. How do you, let's say, okay. Andre, we're going to slightly expand the variability of these questions now. So the question is, about how much does milk cost in Japan? Roughly speaking, how much does milk cost in Japan?
日本で牛乳は
え
どのくらいですか？
Sorry, Andre, can you say it one more time, please?
トムさん、牛乳は日本でどのくらいですか？
Okay, good. Right, so let's just break this sentence apart a little bit. So I think possibly, Andre, the thing you were trying to work out is it Nihon de or Nihon ni?
日本、ああ、
So with des, if you're finishing with des, it would probably be a good idea to use ni, Nihon ni,
日
donogurai.
本の
Yeah, because de is quite often used, well, mostly used to say, to mark the location of an activity. But
Okay.
if you want to say how much does something cost, you can just say kura desu ka. But if you want to actually say how much does it actually cost, this is actually a verb, which is kakaru. Kakaru, you've probably heard it before in your
かか
own.
ります。
Yes, yeah, kakaru. So you'd say ikura kakaru. So this is a verb. So therefore it would be nihon de in that case. So can you make a sentence using that explosion of words that I've just thrown at you?
はい。
はい、どうぞ。
トムさん、牛乳は日本にどのくらいかかりますか？
It's the other way around, Andre. So
ああ、
nihon de kakaru or nihon ni des.
OK。トムさん、牛乳は日本に、牛乳は日本にいくらですか？大体いくらですか？
Excellent, good. Hey, Tom-san, どうぞ。
わかりません。
Just make a guess.
Make out a number.
Yeah.
1000 yen?
How much?
1000 yen?
Oh, sen yen.
1000 yen.
10 yen.
1000 yen.
10 yen. 1,000 yen. Oh, yeah, that's probably, for 3 liters, that's probably about right. Yeah. Okay, good. Tom, you're person A, and Manuel, you're person B. Okay, the question is, how many socks are you wearing? This is the crocodile pit from this morning. How many socks are you wearing?
Shoes was? I know it was under shoes.
Kutsu.
Kutsu. Manuel san. So ikutsu. Kutsuka?
Kutsushita.
Kutsusta?
Yeah.
It was a different verb for the lower body.
Yep.
Like hakama, hakimas.
Yes, good. Yes.
Hakama, hakima.
Yeah.
Haku. So hakate imasu ka?
Not hakate. That means measure. How many socks are you measuring? So haku is a group 1 verb. So turn that into a te form.
So haku. Haite. So we cut off the ku. Ite. With 1 T.
Yes.
Haite.
And then haite.
Haite. Imasu.
And the question mark?
Ka.
Good.
Haite
Okay.
imasu ka.
Okay, should we do the whole sentence one more time? Just really slowly, Tom, so
Yep.
everybody can hear the words.
Manuel-san. So, kutsusta.
No, so how many first?
Ikutsu.
Good.
Ikutsu. Kutsusta.
Yeah.
Haite imasu ka?
Okay, so what's the particle after kutsushita?
O.
Yes, good. One more time, please.
So Manuel-san, ikutsu kutsuta and kutsuta kutsuta o, and then haite imasu ka?
Good. Yes. Yeah. Tom, just so that I can also help you all with your pronunciation as well. The sh in shita, kutsushita, it's quite a clearly pronounced sh. So it's kutsushita, kutsushita.
Kutsushita.
Yes. Good. Kutsushita.
Kutsushita. It's like Polish. Shita.
Yes. Exactly.
Kutsushita.
Kutsushita.
Kutsushita o haite imasu ka?
Yes, good. So, guys, we did this morning. If you're the word to wear is kiru, but this is something that you generally wear over the top, like a jacket or a shirt. This is kimasu. But for things that you pull on, like your shoes or your socks or your trousers or your hakama, the verb is haku. Haku means to sort of pull on. So if you're wearing shoes, it's kutsu o haite imasu. I'm wearing shoes. Kutsu o haite imasu. Haite imasu. Okay, Manuel. So tell us, how many socks are you wearing?
One question.
How do you count socks?
Kutsushita. Kutsusta.
Yes.
Kutsushita is the word.
Yeah, so
Kutsushita.
so
Shita ni,
under.
like under. Shita
Yes,
ni.
it's exactly this. Yeah.
Kutsushita.
So how many undershoes are you wearing?
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
And is this the same as tanishita, as the kata?
As which one? Sorry.
The kata tanishita.
Tanashita. Yes.
Tanashita. It's
Exactly.
the same stuff for under.
Exactly. Tanashita and kasanoshita. This is all
Kasanoshita.
under. Yeah.
Under.
Exactly. Yeah. Hi, Manuel-san.
Hey.
Show us your feet.
How do you count socks?
Good question. So pairs of socks are
Yeah.
soku. Soku.
Soku. So
It's not English for sock.
yeah. So a soku of
How many?
socks. Okay.
Oh, so
A pair. Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
isoku. Isoku.
Okay.
Like isoku no mowai.
So isoku kutsushita haite imasu.
Good. Yeah. Or you can just say isoku o itemasu.
Isoku o itemasu. Okay.
Itemasu. Yeah. Good. Good. Excellent. Good. So for wearing clothes, guys, let's just do a little bit of vocabulary revision. This is kiru, something on top. This is haku, something you pull on. And this is kaburu, like furi kaburi. Kaburu, to put a hat on. Kaburu. Or a mask, I think, is also kaburu, to don. Okay.
Is that like the word kabuto, like helmet?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. Okay, Manuel, you are A, and Yadi, you are B. The question is, when is your birthday?
How do you say birthday?
Or if it's somebody else's birthday, it's or tanjobi. If it's your birthday, you can just say tanjobi.
Okay. Itsu otanyobi desu ka?
Okay, so let's put this into our standard structure of sentence. So the birthday is actually the subject, isn't it?
Okay. Otanyobi wa itsu desu ka?
Good. Otanjobi wa itsu desu ka? Hai, Yari-san, dozo.
1月入って what was the hakar? The day 21. Very difficult. You said it today.
so 21 is just Niju Ichinichi. It's only the 20th.
Niju Ichinichi. Okay.
If it's just the 20th, this is Hatsuka. But after this is Niju Ichi, Niju Ni, Niju San. Yeah.
Niju Ichinichi.
Good. Okay, good.
Ichigatsu.
Chigatsu no 21日です. Good. Okay, well done, Yari. Yari, you are A, and Joel, you are B. How many years have you been training in Iaido?
Wonderful question.
Yeah.
But maybe how many years?
Yeah. So this is yeah. So don't use it like this. So actually, yeah, the easiest way to do this.
Iaido, keiko, Iaido. Yes, easy way. Okay, Iaido, keiko, ga, ikutsu desu ka? No, something.
No. So actually, there's a much easier way of saying this. If you want to talk about the number of years or the number of months, then just say what year, because year in Japanese is the same as years. So what years? Yeah, exactly. Nannen.
Okay, Iaido nannen desu ka?
So Iaido no keiko o?
Iaido no keiko o nan desu?
Nannen, and then
nannen desu ka?
Nannen
arimasu ka?
No, hang on. Well, stop. So Joel is still doing Iaido now. So he's doing Iaido. So this is again the present continuous tense. So
okay. Iaido. What? No, my head get empty.
Okay, let's do it.
We try again.
Do it slowly.
Nannen. Iaido keiko shimasu?
Shite imasu ne.
Shite imasu ka? But
for how long?
None. I forgot the none.
Okay.
Iaido keiko.
Yari, stop a second. So you've already said all the words that are necessary into the sentence, but let's put the sentence together in a way that's easy to remember for the future. So what things can we say first to get them out of the way? Let's think about all the things which are in this sentence.
Maybe the object, the Iaido.
Yeah, good.
Iaido.
Yeah. Iaido o?
Iaido o.
How many years?
Nannen.
You are doing.
Shite imasu ka?
Good. That's it.
Yeah.
That was it. It was really easy, actually. It was 3 items.
The object. Slowing down.
Yeah, that's okay. It was, but it was a simple thing. It was 3 items. It was the object, the interrogative, and then the bit of grammar at the end, the shite imasu ka. So Iaido o. Nannen shite imasu ka. Not as difficult as you might think. Yeah.
Maybe one day it's not so difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I also. So, guys, in general, we're now getting to the stage in our Japanese education where we know so much grammar and so much vocabulary that there are lots of different ways to say the same thing.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'd
like you to. There are times when I will ask you to use a particular format of sentence because I want you to exercise the grammar. But what's really important now is to build the confidence to construct a sentence in the way that you can do it. So if it's something that's familiar to you, you can just say it that way. So for example, in this sentence, how long have you been doing Iaido? I also get a bit worried because I'm thinking, should I say nannen or should I say nannen kan, which means
duration.
Yeah, duration, nannen kan. And then do I say shimasu ka or shite imasu ka? So I also get a bit concerned as well because I'm not sure which is correct. So I will sometimes just cheat and say, from which year did you start Iaido? And then I can get the answer. Or how many years ago did you start Iaido? And these are actually easier sentences to make than saying how many years have you been doing Iaido for. So I don't mind if you play jazz with your Japanese. In fact, it's good now to start being jazzy with your Japanese and just making up the sentence that you prefer to make. Then you have some confidence. If I feel that I want you to make it in a certain way, then I'll say, use this term. But otherwise, answer it your way. So you could say, to Joao, you could say, itsu kara, from when, iaido o starto o shimashita ka. And then I don't have to worry about shite imasu or shimasu. I can say, when did you start iaido? What was I say? Itsu kara.
Itsu.
Kara?
Yeah, itsu kara.
Or even itsu, just itsu. Itsu iaido o start o shimashita ka. And then Joao can either say the year, 1990 some year, or he can say 5 years ago. 5年前, 10年前, 15, 20年前, 20 years ago. And then we'd avoid all of these problems of trying to make.
What was the number ago, 2 years ago, for example?
So this would be 2年前.
2年前.
Yeah. 2 years before. 2年前. Good. Okay. That was a short excursion, but let's get back. So Joel, if you were going to, I'd like you to ask David.
I haven't answered though.
That was Singaporean Japanese. What would you like to eat?
David さん、食べ物は何ですか?
Now this is saying, what is food?
Okay.
How would you say, what would you like to eat? Okay, let's step through this because this is a slightly new sentence structure and we haven't really done it before. So if the answer is sushi, how would David comprehensively answer your question? David, you have a go. How would you say, I want to eat sushi?
Sushi o tabetai desu.
Okay, good. Sushi o tabetai desu. Okay, right. So I'm going to jump into the wrong way of saying the question, then I'll explain why it's wrong. But the sentence structure is the same anyway. Sushi o tabetai desu, right? We've got that sushi or tabetai desu, 4 words, sushi or tabetai desu. Now, you don't know that it's sushi, so sushi disappears and is replaced with what?
With none.
So this is one of the rare cases where it's nani. Nani.
Okay.
Okay, dozo.
Nani wa.
Not nani. So remember, sushi o tabetai desu. Remove sushi.
Nani o tabetai desu ka? Desu ka?
Yeah, good. Exactly. Nani o tabetai desu ka. Okay, so this is grammatically, this is the correct sentence. Nani o tabetai desu ka. But you might remember a few weeks ago when we learnt the Thai form, you shouldn't really use that for asking somebody else. You say about things that you want to do with tabetai. So in this case, it's absolutely fine just to say, what will you eat? What will you eat? So what would you say in this case, Joel?
So, nani o, what will you eat? Nani o tabemasu ka?
Good, yeah. Nani o tabemasu ka? What will you eat? Yeah. If you want to say, this is probably worth writing down, guys, because this is really useful. If you want to say, what will you have? What will you have? Which is really good for, food or drink or anything else. You can say, what will you do? What will you go for? Which is nani o shimasu ka? Nani o shimasu ka? Sorry, that's not correct. Sorry. It's nan ni shimasu ka. Nan ni shimasu ka.
So it's not nani, it's nan ni. So
Yes.
it's nan and the particle.
Good. Yes, exactly.
Instead
Nan,
of nani, as you explained before.
exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Nan. It's like saying, what will you go for? What will you go for? Nan ni shimasu ka?
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to ask, for example, what would you eat? You could just say nan ni shimasu ka. How would you make the distinction between food and drink if you wanted to?
You could say
Relevant.
tabemono wa nan ni shimasu ka?
Okay.
As for food, what will you have?
Okay.
If you want to make it clear that it's drink, then what would you say, Joel?
Nomimono wa nan ni shimasu ka.
Yeah, and nomimono is one of those words which you can honorize to make it clear you're talking about the other person's drink. So you would then say,
O nomimono o nan ni shimasu ka.
Perfect. O nomimono o nan ni shimasu ka? Perfect.
Okay.
It's exactly what you'd say. O nomimono wa or nomimono o. This is also correct. O nomimono o nan ni shimasu ka? If you want to make this a little bit more polite, because I imagine you might be asking this of your teachers in the future, or somebody's teacher in the future, then instead of saying shimasu, which is standard formality, you can make this into keigo, into polite speech. You can say nan ni nasaimasu ka? Nasaimasu ka? This is a polite way of saying shimasu. Nan ni nasaimasu ka? It's a very nice, pretty nice phrase. Nan ni nasaimasu ka?
Yep.
Good. Right. Okay, I've run out of example questions. I'm going to have to make some. I think I have. Hang on. Let's just check again. Yeah, I've run out of examples, so I'm going to have to make some up. David, can you ask Elena, where will you go next year?
Rainen. So Elena-san, Rainen. Where is?
Where will you go? Where will you go?
どこに行きますか?
Good, yeah. 来年どこに行きますか? はい、エレナさんどうぞ。
Russia です。
Russia des, or what would be actually, that's just saying it is Russia.
Russia に行きます
Yes, exactly. Russia に行きます。Russia に行きます。Good. Excellent.
Russia.
Okay. Elena, I'd like you to ask Andre, who is your teacher? Who is your teacher?
Andre-san, teacher? Sensei.
Sensei, yeah, why not?
どちらね It's not どちら Donata?
No, so make the sensei is the subject of this sentence. So
Sensei が、
good.
まあ、先生は、どなたですか?
Good, yes. Sensei wa donata desu ka?
Dare is without noun.
So dare, you can either say dare or donata. These are both the same. So these both mean just who, or dochira.
But dare is that I can use dare everywhere.
Yes.
With nouns.
No, dare just means who.
Yes, that's what I meant. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So dare. So this is different, Elena. This is different to dore. Dore use nouns. Dare is with people.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi, Andre-san, dozo.
Omi Goyo Sensei desu.
Who? Sorry, one more time.
Omi Goyo Sensei desu.
Ah, okay. Omi Goyo Sensei. Okay, Andre, can you ask Tom which car do you drive? Which car do you drive?
Tom-san, どの車を運転しますか?
Perfect. Hi.
Honda CRV です。
Oh.
いい
Okay.
車で。
いい車ですね。お金持ちでしょ。
響いて。
Okay, Andre, can you now ask? So we're just going to slightly change the shape of the sentence. Which is your Tom? Which is your car, or which is Tom's car?
トムさんの車は、どの車ですか？
Okay, so but you remember you've said kuruma twice in the sentence, so not dono kuruma, but just what could you
Dore.
use? Dore, yes.
どれですか？
Yeah.
トムさんの車はどれですか？
Excellent. Hey, very good. Okay, good. Tom-san no kuruma wa dore desu ka? Dore desu ka? Good. Okay, Tom, can you please ask Manuel? It was another why question. I was going to say, why are you wearing glasses? Manuel, why did you go to Japan last year? Yes, that's a good question. Manuel, why did you go to Japan last year?
Manuel-san, why is next? 千年?
Sorry,
Kyonen.
Kyonen.
It was an exception. So, why did you go to Japan last year? Samuel-san, 去年日本に行きます。First, どうして行きますか?
So it's past tense though, Tom.
行きました。
Yes.
か。
Yeah.
行きましたか。
Okay, can we do the whole sentence again?
So,
Sorry,
Samuel-san,
hard one, Tom.
去年日本にどうして行きましたか?
Good. Okay. So, Tom, this, actually, grammatically, this sentence is fine. There's just a tendency, if you're going to say, why did you go there? It's probably better to put doshite a bit closer to the beginning and say doshite nihon ni ikimashita ka.
Okay.
So that you put the nihon ni ikimashita in one little box by itself.
Okay, so どうして日本に行きましたか?
Good. Yes,
行きましたか?
Excellent. Hi, Manuel, どうぞ.
稽古しました。
Okay, so keiko shimashita. How would you do you know how you would say I went to train? I went to train.
稽古に no.
Nearly. Okay, let me help you. So if you want to say I will go and eat sushi, I will go to Tokyo and eat sushi, I would make the sentence in this structure. Tokyo ni sushi o tabe ni ikimasu. So the thing that you're going to do, you take the mas off and put ni, so going to eat, and then put ikimasu at the end. Tokyo ni sushi o tabe ni ikimasu. Or sushi o, put that at the beginning. Tokyo ni tabe ni. Yeah, better to put Tokyo ni at the beginning and sushi o taberu as this inner box in the center. Tokyo ni sushi o tabe ni ikimasu. So, Manuel, now change that into your example.
So, 稽古をするに行きます。
Not suruni, so it's the mass form of the verb and chop off mass.
しに行きます。
Yes, good.
Okay.
And then in the past tense?
稽古をしに行きました。
Perfect. Keiko o shi ni ikimashita. Excellent. Good. Okay. So Manuel, you are A, and please ask Yari. ちょっと待ってください。Okay, I'd like to ask Yari How much did that painting cost behind you?
Painting is?
Eh.
Okay. その絵は、いくつ
Not ikutsu, that's how many.
Yes, you're right. Ikura. How was the verb for cost?
Oh, good. Kakaru.
Kakaru.
Hi.
Kakaru. So it's kakarimasu.
Yes.
Okay. その絵はいくらかかりますか?
So you're asking him how much it will cost. So you're assuming
Okay.
that he's going to sell it to you.
Okay. かかりましたか?
Good.
Okay.
Yes. Kakarimashita ka?
その絵は、いくらかかりましたか?
Good. Excellent. Hi, Yari, dozo.
写真あります。
Shashin desu.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not a painting.
Free.
Shashin desu. It's a photograph. It's a photo. Good.
And my taking, no price. 私の写真です。
Just the frame. Just the frame. Okay, good. Okay, Yari, can you ask Joao? Let's see. Joao. Please ask Joao, when are you going to go on holiday? When will you go on holiday?
Holiday, Yasumi.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Yasumi, Joao. How I spell the correct Joao?
Joao.
Wow.
Joao. Okay. Joao-san. Now I forgot what I have to ask.
Okay, it's all right. When will you go on holiday? When will you go on holiday?
Okay, yes, Yasumi. Joao-san. Yasumi ni itsu desu ka?
Oh, okay. Yari, that was fine. It would be completely understood actually. But you said Yasumi ni, which assumes that you're going to it.
Yasumi no.
No. So you could say yes. You just mark it as the subject of the object of the sentence. So you'd say Yasumi if it's the subject. Or Yasumi ga itsu desu ka? So when is your holiday?
Yeah. Okay.
Good.
More ga always.
Yeah. Or yeah. So you could say Joao-san, Yasumi wa itsu desu ka? Or Joao-san, Yasumi ga itsu desu ka? These, in this case, you are either marking Yasumi as the object, or you're marking it as subject. It's in this case, it's the same. Both are fine. Yeah. Hey, Joao-san, dozo.
来月です。
Raigetsu. Oh, next month. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Yari, how would you say when will you go on holiday? It's simpler than you think. Just think about what I've said. When will you go on holiday? Or
Yasumi ga itsu desu ka?
So that's when is your holiday, but how would you say when will you go? When will you go?
Yasumi ga ikimasu ka?
Itsu.
Itsu. Ikimasu ka?
Yeah, exactly. Itsu ikimasu ka?
Itsu ikimasu ka?
In this case, it's probably better to say Yasumi ni, to say to go.
Okay, now the ni.
Holiday.
Yasumi ni.
Exactly.
Itsu ikimasu ka?
Good. Yes, Yasumi ni itsu ikimasu ka? Excellent. Good. Joao, can you ask David? You still wait, David? Let's see. You've got a couple more to do. Ask David, how did he get his haircut? How did he get his haircut? Yes, that's a good one. How did you get your haircut, David?
How do you say haircut?
Okay. So hair is kaminoke. Kaminoke. And then cut is kiru.
Kaminoke kiru?
Yeah.
Myoinde.
Kaminoke, David-san, kaminoke kiru. Oh, David-san, どうやって髪の毛切るですか?
Not kiru desu ka. So this is a verb, Joel.
Oh,
Kaminoke
yeah.
o.
David-san, どうやって髪の毛切りますか?
Yeah, good. どうやって髪の毛を切りますか?
髪の毛を切りますか?
Yeah, good. はい、デビさんどうぞ。
Myoinde.
何?
Myoinde.
Myoin?
I think it's hairdresser.
Bioin.
Byoinde.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Important to pronounce this as bioin, because if you say byoin, this is hospital.
Hospital. Yes.
Yeah. So it's bioin.
Well, they do surgery as well.
Just like the good old days. If you want to say so, bioin is really a beauty salon. If you want to say just the barbers, this is Tokaya-san.
Tokaya-san. Okay.
Tokaya-san. Yeah, barbers. Yeah. Tokaya-san. Good. Okay, then finally, David, can you? Oh no, we'll do two more. David, can you ask Elena? Just a second. Let's see, what have we done much? Ask Elena. How many university specialities does she have? Okay, so let me help you with the vocabulary. So university is daigaku. Yes, exactly. Yep. And then specialities. Do you know this? Senmon. Yeah.
Daigaku senmon.
Hi. Hi, dozo.
Elena-san. Ikutsu. Particle for that.
No, you don't need it. It's just an interrogative. You don't need the past.
Ikutsu daigaku senmon.
Now, what's going to be the ending of the sentence? Yeah, go on. Ga. If you want to ask somebody how much they have, then what would be a useful verb to have? Okay, I have a phone. How would I say I have a phone?
Ga arimasu ka?
Perfect. Good. Yes. Hi, Elena-san, dozo.
Desu.
Huh?
University specialty. What means that?
Like a qualification. Qualification.
Degrees.
Yeah.
How much time did I study it?
Oh, how many qualifications do you have?
Oh.
So many.
Ichi desu.
Ichi. Hitotsu. Hitotsu.
Hitotsu desu.
Yeah, hitotsu. So David asked arimasu ka. So your response should also be
hitotsu arimasu.
Yes, good. Hitotsu ga arimasu. And then
hitotsu ga arimasu.
Good. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Then finally, Elena, if you can ask Andre. Let me think of something random. Andre, when did you move to Canada?
Andre-san. When it's Canada ni arimashita ka?
So the word to move, there's a couple of options really, but you could say ido, which means ido shimasu. Ido shimasu means to make a move.
Ido shimashita?
And it's a question, so.
Ido shimashita ka?
Good. Okay. Can you say the whole sentence one more time, please?
Andre-san, Canada ni itsu. I forgot the verb.
Ido suru. Ido suru.
Ido shimashita ka?
Good.
Canada ni itsu. The verb.
Ido.
Ido shimashita ka?
Good. Yes. Andre-san, itsu Canada ni ido shimashita ka? Itsu Canada ni 移動しましたか？はい、アンドレさんどうぞ。
Can I say Canada ni or at first?
You can, but the thing it makes the sentence a little bit twisted, and in this case, it's probably better to put the interrogative a little bit early in the sentence. It's so a bit like English. When itsu Canada ni ikimashita. 移動しました。はい。はい、アンドレさんどうぞ。
パンデミックの後で、あれは3月前にカナダに移動しました。
Okay, so 3 months ago after the pandemic. ありがとうございました。Okay, good. Well done, guys. Do you want to unmute yourselves a second? And 質問か問題がありませんか？質問か問題がありませんか？
ありません。
Do we have all problems? No.
Or questions?
Any questions or problems?
Yeah.
It went really fast today.
It did, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
1.5 hours, bang. Okay, もしなければ終わりましょう。じゃあ皆さん、また。
また
じゃあね。じゃあね。バイチャキー。じゃあね。